What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Jon Mark. And I wanted to give a shout out to all those who've enjoyed these reactions. Kim, Michaela, Stuart. I know Kim actually commented on Jon Mark when she was saying his music is among the things she's enjoyed the most that she's discovered through my channel, so I wanted to say that I really appreciated that. We are right near the end of Land of Merlin, his 1992 album, and indeed all his albums that I have, which is 5 of them, seem to be concept albums. They're all built around a historical narrative or an atmospheric setting or a regional depiction through music. So yes, more of those will be coming, but as I said, we're up to the penultimate tune of Land of Merlin, and it's Farewell to Childhood. So yes, this particular album has been about the earliest phase of Arthur's legend and his growth and integration into the Land of Merlin and the life, this legendary life that he would inhabit and express, or rather take hold of as an adult. So yes, I expect this to perhaps in some ways be a culmination of a lot of what we've heard up until this point, even though it's not the final tune, which is the vision, and perhaps that's about what comes next and the sort of, looking to the horizon of Arthur's life. But this is about looking backward and saying goodbye to all that made him who he was at the end of his childhood. So yeah, let's give it a listen. This is Jon Mark from his Land of Merlin album, 1992, and the track is Farewell to Childhood. could feel it was ending there. Another beautiful tune, and I was seeing visions of the now on the verge of young adulthood Arthur, perhaps, on a caravan or in a wagon, going to some place where he will have responsibilities or obligations, or to the next phase of his life, passing through the fields and the villages and the places he has known in Cornwall, and almost like seeing visually like younger versions of himself at play or learning or exploring or being taught by Merlin or otherwise. So it's like I had a vision of him having a vision of everything that led up to where he is now, and perhaps traveling through these places and putting them to bed, so to speak, as his childhood comes to an end and he moves to the next phase of his life. And in that regard, it was warm, it was nostalgic, it was rich. There was a hint of, I won't say melancholy, but I will say a knowledge that these things can be no more. Again, sort of a putting to bed or even burying of the experiences and the youthful emotions that he has known, and thus recognizing that that part of his life is over. So again, not melancholy, but an understanding that that is an earlier phase that is now being left behind. So yes, just rich like chords and immersive melody and a beautiful sense of the place and the story which has been characterized through the tracks preceding. So once again, big shout out and RIP to the sonic storyteller Jon Mark. Shout out to all those who've been following this journey, and we have the vision, a proper vision to finish the album when we come back next time, which I'll try to make sure isn't as long from now as the previous one was from this. So yeah, I'll try to come back in the relatively near future for the final track, and then we'll be on to another album. And there's 4 possibilities in that regard, and I shall see what you folks see, and we'll do whatever seems appropriate. So in any case, let me know what you think, and I'll see you for the next one. Peace.